All right. We are 3 minutes after the hour, so I think we will go ahead and get things started. We'll start off with some introductions from Kevin and myself. So again, my name is Joshua Posey, VP of Channel Sales here with Coeo. Looking forward to sharing the Coeo story of Microsoft Teams with you all. I've got about 20 years of telecom experience in the channel, so I'm excited to share the channel experience and how we feel you can best leverage this with your customers and continue to grow with Coeo. With me today is Kevin. Kevin is our VP of Network Engineering. He's got over 25 years of experience in the industry with the likes of Quest, Sonos, which is now Ribbon, and others. Kevin, you want to take a quick minute and say hi?
Hello, everyone. Looking forward to talking about Operator Connect and the exciting things happening around Coeo. And hopefully you guys learn a little bit more than you already knew.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Let's go ahead and continue on. So by the end of this webinar, we want to make sure that we've imparted two major elements, two key points, if you will. The first one is why Coeo, right? And again, I appreciate everybody joining the call today. Hopefully we can share enough information with you to understand why Coeo and drive that follow-up conversation. And the other one is why Microsoft Teams, and specifically with Operator Connect. So those are going to be the two themes of what we would like you to walk away and have a good understanding of what Coeo means to you and what Operator Connect can mean to you. So first off, let's take a look at Operator Connect. Because honestly, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about something that's likely already at your fingertips, yet very much vastly underutilized, and that's Microsoft Teams. Many organizations have adopted Teams for chat, for meetings, but there's a hidden powerhouse within this platform that can truly elevate the business communications, and that's Operator Connect. Think of it this way. Teams is like a sleek, modern phone, but without a connection to the outside world. Operator Connect is the missing piece that unlocks its fullest potential, transforming it into a complete business phone system. Now, let's take a minute and set the stage by reviewing the current state of affairs or current state of Microsoft Teams. Well, currently 91% of Fortune 100 companies are utilizing Teams. Teams has surpassed 320 million users. 20 million have been added since 2023 alone. So the opportunity continues to grow. The companies are already utilizing Microsoft Teams. So now Operator Connect makes sense. We can help consolidate, simplify, boost productivity, and enhance the overall image. As you see, the opportunity continues to grow, and the time is now, and the partner is Coeo. Now, I'm going to hand it over to our VP of Engineering, Kevin. Kevin, would you take it from here?
Yeah, thanks, Joshua. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about Operator Connect and what it is, what are some of the benefits compared to a traditional PBX system, and really how it works in the Coeo landscape. So, when we talk about benefits of a UC platform, we always talk about, the ability for remote work support, combining all of your calling, messaging, file sharing, all of your collaboration needs all into a single unified device or soft client, right? And these are things that help increase your productivity across the business. And you have these secure features that secure all of your voice and your messaging and your collab all together in one place. So those are the benefits of what a PBX is in the cloud is going to do for you. What I'd like to do now is talk about some of the disadvantages of a PBX that kind of lead to those benefits. But if you can go to the next slide, thank you. So some of these disadvantages in an on-prem PBX are these ongoing costs, right? So we all know about the regular maintenance and the upgrades to these systems, but there's hardware replacements, there's staff augmentations that you have to maintain, and those get quite costly, right? And then you're always faced with the vulnerabilities of outages. So we have our links that can go down, which that happens even today. We still have links going down to an on-premise, and those phone systems are down, and then your businesses are suffering, right? So you also have to worry about hardware outages and power that can impact that quality of the system being available, right? And then I think the biggest of the three here is really these difficulty um, for integrating an existing PBX into other technologies, right? So if you want to connect to business analytics solutions or your CRMs with Salesforce and things like this, having just a soft client available for those remote workers. These are all integrations that sometimes aren't vetted, weren't intended in the original design of those PBXs. So these are challenges that really steer folks over to a unified communications platform like phone system on Teams, right? And I think the biggest one lately is just 911 support for your remote workers. You've got Kerry's Law and Ray Baum's Act that were just instituted in the last year or two, and those are challenges that a lot of PBX vendors are facing. And so this kind of gives you a a solution to that by going to a Microsoft Teams solution. So now I want to talk about what is Operator Connect, right? So we hear terms like calling plans and direct routing and Operator Connect. What are they? Well, Operator Connect is really Microsoft's simplistic way of saying bring your own carrier to the phone system native Teams, right? So they started off with calling plans. Quickly after that, they brought in direct routing, which is an actual really nice solution, offers tons of flexibility, requires only that you buy a SBC or have an SBC that's certified. So you can have Ribbon, Oracle, audio codes, the list goes on. There's probably 15 different certified SBCs that you can use. And then you create the trunk group to your tenant, and you create your trunk group to your carrier, and now you are direct routing, bring your own carrier. Provides a lot of flexibility, but there's a lot of complexities involved, right? You have to procure the SBC, so there's a CapEx involved, and you have to have APIs and PowerShell experience to be able to configure into the Teams phone system. And then when you get there, it's just a little bit different from a Teams admin perspective than what they're used to from a calling plans perspective and managing the phone system. And so what Operator Connect is, it came out after direct routing, and Operator Connect is kind of the bridge between the two, right, solutions. And it makes the look and feel of calling plans from a team system administration perspective. So it makes it really simple and user-friendly, but it gives you the control because now the phone numbers are owned by a carrier, and it provides flexibility that you just don't get with Microsoft calling plans. Whereas, all of your numbers would be in calling plan and with Microsoft as the carrier. And a lot of folks have contracts and things like this that are in place that just can't bridge that, one swift push over to Microsoft Teams. So this is where Operator Connect comes into play, and it provides that ability for users and end users to take advantage of Teams, but maintain those contracts with their carriers and like. And so at the bottom of the slide, I've kind of broken out a little bit of what we've seen in the marketplace. From a bring your own carrier perspective, whether it's small, medium, or large, both Operator Connect and direct routing are fantastic options. And I think, from a calling plans perspective, we really are only seeing really small businesses that are actually successfully going to calling plans for those needs. Next slide there. So here, I want to talk about one of the big factors for Operator Connect is the overall security that Microsoft has. They've invested billions of dollars into securing their solutions across the board. And, it's no wonder that they're doing the same thing for their Teams environment as well. And so for all the carriers to participate in Operator Connect, they're held to a high standard of high availability and direct peering and things like this. So we still are mandated to have an SBC that is qualified. It needs to be dispersed across 2 different theaters. So from a Coeo perspective, we have those deployed in our Chicago and our Denver theaters. And then we have direct peering via express routes to 2 different regions in the Azure network, right? And so there's the secure connections there with SIP trunks that are routing with TLS and SRTP to secure those phone calls. as a requirement for Microsoft and also for the protection of the customer's voice traffic, right? And so this stuff is built and it's ready to go. And there's no need to add additional trunks or anything like this. It's a one-time build. You go through the onboarding process and you're vetted from Microsoft, and then you can add customers to it. It's not like direct routing where you would have to build individual trunk groups into each tenant. And that creates a little bit of an ease to path to onboard the customers. So speaking of the onboarding of the customers, so we go to the next slide here. Yeah. So the process is really simple, right? It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. So the first step is the system administrator for the tenant and teams would go in to Operator Connect and they would search for Operator Connect carriers and they'd select Coeo as their carrier. They'd click on the button, hit the consent to allow Coeo to be your carrier. And then that kicks off the process with our operations team. And they'll collect all the information, whether you need new DIDs or you're porting in existing phone numbers, 800 numbers, et cetera. And those numbers will get collected, porting will get scheduled, and those numbers will then just show up in the team's tenant for that customer. And the system administrator simply assigns that to a user, and their team's client's ready to take and receive calls, receive and make calls, I should say. And so with that, I wanted to show a quick little video of that little process that happens so that you can see that. All right. So once you've chosen Coeo as your Operator Connect carrier, following the screen before, will take you back to your admin center and you'll go to the Operator Connect tab and you'll choose your My Operators and you'll see that Coeo is now listed as your carrier. And you can see some details when we sign the contract between our companies. It'll show the status here, along with during that process, Coeo will collect all the DIDs and toll-free numbers that you like to port in, or if you need new DIDs assigned, Coeo will collect all of that information and then any emergency 911 location information. And then we'll load all of that into your portal. And you can find that underneath phone numbers. As you can see, we have several numbers here. They're all under Coeo. And then this Microsoft one is for conferencing. And then you can see that some are assigned and some are not. And so quickly, just to show you how to assign a number, you can take the 1407 and we can edit that and we can add Kevin and we can assign it. Is it placed like that? Then we can send an email. We can change the EU911 emergency location if you need to. We'll leave it on the Coeo headquarters for now, and then hit apply. And that user will be assigned, and they can log into their Teams client, and they will be able to make and receive phone calls to that number. Now, if you have a bunch of numbers that you're not using, spare numbers you're going to grow, you can absolutely have those numbers ready to go. And you can either utilize Coeo's support staff, or you can do it on your own, where you can push those numbers into the Teams tenant via another portal that we call the Coeo Connect portal. And this is that portal. So you can see we have some numbers here that are all added to the UCaaS platform or the Operator Connect. And then we have one here sitting that's not available. So, or it's available, but it's not in the Teams client. And that's 9200. So we'll just verify that. There's no 9200 over here. So we want to add that in because we have another user. We have 2 users, so we need another number. So let's go ahead and select that. And then we'll click the add button. And here we have to fill out a emergency location. We'll put that one on my home office. We're going to assign that to me. And then you have to select a license, and it's either going to be a user assignment or a first-party app. And the first-party app is for an auto attendant or a hunt group or things like this that are resource accounts. You would do that. In this case, we're going to use the user because we're going to assign it to the user. We select the usage plans, and then we hit add to UCaaS, and it's being added. So we'll hop back into the Teams admin portal under the phone numbers. We'll give it a refresh, jumping over here, and you can see that 9200 popped in. And now you can do the same thing. You can select, edit, and you can add. I don't have any other users at this time, but you get the idea. Pretty simple. All the numbers are pointed to that portal, and it pushes it right into Teams, and you're off and running. All right. So once. There you go. All right. So next slide. There you go. Thank you, Clay. Okay, thanks for that. And then, so now I want to talk a little bit about the value that you're going to get by using Coeo as your provider, right? Like I said earlier, Microsoft is not a telco carrier, so I think that these options that are available for us to bring your own carrier with Operator Connect provides that opportunity for Coeo to really shine, right? We are a company that was founded on providing white glove support. So listed here, it's in our DNA. Everything that we do, we have support and how we're going to support that product at the forefront, right? So we have, we do that with a 24/7, 365 US based support. We hire folks that care and want to be part of the experience for our customer base. And along with that white glove support, right, we want to provide options to our customers. We don't feel that they should have to make a jump when they're not ready. So we try to meet our customer and help develop solutions for them and meet them where they are today. And we do this with hybrid options, right? So we have, obviously the Operator Connect, the direct routing piece. We have our own UCaaS platform that we can use for business continuity, and we have routing expertise that we can help with any other types of solutions that customers may have for a business continuity solution, right? And so what we try to do is provide that maintain that control of their numbers and to really meet them where they want to go. So you have a lot of enterprises that have different departments that just aren't ready to make that move, and we can help them do that migration at their pace, and that's really key. We find a lot of businesses really like this approach and this option. That way, they can control some of those impacts that happen when you're moving to new technology, right? And so if your customers have some of that complexity, we're here to help them solve that problem. So I think I'm going to hand it back off to Joshua to talk about a little bit of the opportunities that are in front of us with you guys. And thank you very much. If you have any questions, we'll be answering questions at the end of the presentation.
Awesome. Thank you, Kevin. Well done. There are a few questions in the chat, and I do want to make mention we will have a Q&A session coming up in just a couple slides. Want to share a little bit more information, and then we'll make sure and go through all of the questions that are already put in the chat and any additional questions you may have. So the opportunity, right? When we look at the opportunity, it's both financial and operational. So let's take a look at that. So financially, there's an opportunity for you all as well. Obviously, as a partner of Coeo, we have our compensation program. So you have an opportunity to earn additional residual revenue from the PSTN that we add with our Operator Connect. Then you have the financial opportunity for your customer. When we come in and consolidate, we're able to usually reduce the overall cost by bringing it all together under one roof, which again also helps the operational side of it to simplify the operations of your customers, cloud PBX and PSTN. That's what Coeo is here to do. So now we can consolidate both your chat, meetings, and phone calls. Instead of juggling these across multiple different applications, we want to streamline everything within Teams. This means less app switching, fewer headaches, and increased efficiency. As we look at the simplification of the telecom, we get to say goodbye to complex on-premise phone systems and continue to maximize the investment in Teams, utilizing a cloud-based solution that's going to be easy to manage, easy to scale. And then Operator Connect is going to, again, bring in that flexibility and that cost effectiveness of the cloud-based solution. When we talk about boosting productivity, we're empowering your customers and their employees to connect seamlessly with colleagues, with customers, with partners alike, right? all within a single familiar interface. This is going to continue to foster that collaboration and streamline the workflows to make it as effective and efficient as possible. Then what we like to believe is we're going to help enhance the customer's business image as well. As we project a professional image with high quality calling features and functionality like transfer, failover, voicemail, auto attendance, all integrated with Teams, we continue to drive that image, enhance that overall image by consolidating and putting it all together. In essence, Operator Connect is going to unlock the full potential for your customers that are using Microsoft Teams investments today. It's going to help simplify, yet continue to drive a powerful way to optimize their communications while reducing costs and enhancing the productivity. So that's quite a bit on Operator Connect and why Operator Connect and how we can help you with that. I'd be remiss if I didn't close out with why Coeo, right? Again, you're here on a Coeo presentation talking about Operator Connect, and there's a few very key elements that drive a differentiation between us and other competitors in the marketplace. So a little bit about our history first. So we've been around for over 10 years, founded in 2014, headquartered in Illinois. We are a premier provider for voice solutions. Again, the focus is really on that Microsoft Teams and Operator Connect today, but we have the capability to provide voice across analog lines, SIP, PRI, you name it. Then, when you work with Coeo, the largest differentiator is going to be that white glove approach. We bring that human element to networking. How? You're going to be connected with a live person, both pre-sales, throughout the installation and post-sales. We'll make sure that we engineer the solution to the specs that your customers are looking for or that you're looking for, whether it's high availability, redundant circuits. We pride ourselves in engineering this on the front end to make sure everything goes as expected and that we're able to work with you to exceed your customers' expectations. So again, that follows in or flows into dedicated pre-sales and post-sale live support. I think Kevin mentioned earlier, we've got 24/7, 365 US-based support. So again, continue to make sure that we provide that human element that continues to show your customers that we will exceed their expectations. Then once on board, we've got a 97% customer retention rate. And part of the reason why is shows up in our Net Promoter Score. We've got an 87 NPS score, which is more than double the industry standard. Why is that? Again, accountability, availability, responsiveness, and white glove approach across the organization. It starts at the very top with our CEO and permeates throughout the organization. Pre-sales, post-sales, the experience that you and your customers will have with Coeo will be different. Talk a little bit more about the financial aspect for you. Currently, we have a 5x spiff that we are running with our Microsoft Teams Operator Connect. We have a couple other spiffs as well. We'll reserve that for your follow-up conversation with your channel manager. But I wanted to emphasize the 5x spiff that we are running with Operator Connect. And then all of you should be aware that we do have a giveaway for the webinar. There's just one more step to that. That step is to set a time to strategize with your Coeo channel manager to discuss both this webinar giveaway along with the spiff that we're talking about here and additional spiffs. And that qualifies you then for that webinar giveaway. Just simply reach out to your Coeo channel manager for more information. Thank you all very much. Let's go ahead and move into the question and answer part and see how we can continue to assist. All right. Kevin, we'll drop this one over to you first. The first question we have here, are you required to have Microsoft phone license with this solution?
Yeah, absolutely. You do need to have Microsoft phone license. You do not need the higher level E5. You can do a business standard. There's some clarifications on Microsoft's websites on exactly what licenses that you need. But yeah, you'll do an add-on for the phone system to enable phone to be able to call out to the PSTN.
Okay, thank you. Does this work with the Microsoft Teams mobile app?
It does. Yep. Yeah. So in a sense, it's really the Teams client itself is really just part of the phone system that Microsoft is deploying here as your replacement for your PBX. And so all of the connectivity for, for bring your own carrier is really just, the connectivity to the PSTN. So yeah, absolutely use it all the time.
Excellent. Excellent. Here's a fun one. You answer first technically, and then I'll jump in as well. What is the functional differentiators against other providers that are certified in this space?
Yeah, so the really the essence of the Operator Connect program is to have carriers really vetted and delivering that solution, the same level of redundancies and high availability and direct peering and those things. So those are things that are required from all the carriers that are in the Operator Connect program. So there's not a lot of differentiation there. The differentiation, comes down to some of the flexibilities that Coeo can provide that maybe other carriers are not willing to do. Like I mentioned, with some of the different hybrid options that are available and the ability to stage that migration for a lot of different enterprises.
Excellent. No, I would agree. And I would simply add to that again, we talk about white glove support. What does that mean? It means, to Kevin's note earlier, the flexibility. We don't have to just go one down one path. We can have conversations with our technical resources to make sure that we're engineering this for the maximum level of uptime. Then the experience that you have, whether it's going through pricing, we're very flexible with our pricing. We make sure that we're not trying to win based on price, but we're not going to lose based on price as well. We have a very competitive offering and a commitment all the way throughout the organization to do what we can do to help win with you. So you'll have a white glove touch there. But again, adding that engineering resources and that support that continues to separate us from our competition, because you'll have an ear. You'll have somebody that'll listen, that'll help ask questions, help dive in deeper and build a solution with you. When it comes to the channel, Coeo really believes in that channel partnership. This isn't just you and it's not just us. We want to do this in partnership. Along with that, we do have other add-on products and services that we can provide to help really be that one-stop shop for your customers. We talked a little bit about our other voice offerings from next generation POTS, but we also do have the SD-WAN security and data bandwidth aggregation capabilities as well to continue to provide everything as much as possible in one shop. All right. What if the customer wants a physical desk phone? What solution would you recommend? Is there a minimum starting license count?
Yeah, so I'll take this one, Joshua. So yeah, I don't, it really depends, right? If the customer has the physical desk phones, again, to the comment of the soft client working on the mobile device, it's the same thing. There are desk phones that are certified that work with Teams. So that's kind of the first question that you have to kind of tackle. Are those phones, compatible with the phone system that Microsoft is providing? But in terms of which plan, it really doesn't. That really doesn't make that decision for you. It's really a overall enterprise, how many users you actually have that would maybe steer you to a different solution, and if there's other complex factors that you're trying to solve. So in terms of minimum, I'm pretty sure we offer this, Joshua. We can go down to one user. Is that right? So I don't think we don't have a limit on what the amount of smallness can be.
No, excellent. And that there was another question in the chat as well. Do you have a minimum size client, number of employees? And we really don't, right? We'll work with you to make sure that you have a solution that meets your needs and their expectations. Kevin, what about overhead paging? Do we offer the feature, that feature and equipment?
Yeah, so the overhead paging is typically done with an integration. There are some overhead paging systems like Algo and things like this that have Microsoft Teams integration directly through SIP trunking, and those can be supported through this mechanism through Operator Connect. If they have needs that their overhead paging system does not have that integration with Teams, We can always do things like the Operator Connect with a hybrid option um, for a direct routing type of a solution for that overhead paging system. All right.
Got it. Thank you. Got a few more questions in the chat. Pricing questions again. The pricing does vary. If you've got a pricing question, let's follow up with the channel manager, and we can definitely dig in and find out a little bit more around that. The question was how much to add a phone license via Office 365. So again, that'll be kind of a case by case, but we can definitely review with the channel manager. I don't know if you had a response, Kevin.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think that question is geared towards the Microsoft side to add the phone system. I believe that is $8 currently. So if you have a business standard, O365 account, and you wanted to add the phone system, I'm pretty sure it's at $8 at this point.
Got it. Does the client need to have a 5E license or is 3E compatible?
I think I mentioned that the 5E is not required. 3E, I'd have to check on that, but some of these more expensive bundles include phone systems. So really what you're looking for in terms of licensing from the Microsoft perspective is if it includes phone system, then there's no need. I know Microsoft has been making lots of changes to their licensing and what's included in their bundles. From a regulatory perspective, they were forced to kind of do that over in the UK, and so they're actually doing that across the board here in North America as well. So you're going to see some of those, but at the end of the day, the bundle needs to have phone system, and if you don't have it, then you have to do the add-on for the $8.
Thank you, sir. Mobile SMS integration. What capabilities do we have through Coeo?
Oh, great question. So we are on roadmap to have that delivered through an interface within integration with Microsoft Teams through the Operator Connect portal. So we have that roadmap for early 2025.
Got it. Excellent. Clay, is there a way, can you drop my email address in the chat for everybody or pull it up on screen if possible? There was a question, how do we find out exactly who our channel manager person is? I would just recommend reach out to me and I will get you aligned with them. You can reach me directly at jposey, that's JPOSEY, at coeosolutions.com. So if you found the webinar and you'd like to get more information and you don't know who your channel manager is specifically, please just reach directly out to me. That's JPOSEY at coeosolutions.com.
Yeah, and Joshua, I see a couple other questions I'll go ahead and take here real quick. There's a question about is this a competitor of Quinify Call to Teams? I'm pretty sure I don't want to answer this 100%, but I'm pretty sure the Quinify Call to Teams is a direct routing as a service solution, very similar. But it's going to have that look. It's going to have a little bit of a different look and feel in the actual admin of the PBX. So you look at that more of as a direct routing solution. But yeah, they're not. I mean, I guess they're a competitor because they're offering a solution, but it's not from an Operator Connect standpoint. And then I think there's another one from Thomas about the solutions features included if the customer needs anything complex like an IVR, call parking, voicemail to email. So these are really questions about the actual phone system. So yes, Microsoft phone system supports IVRs and auto attendants and the ability to do call parks and hunt groups and things like this, voicemail to email, transcription services. Those are all kind of part of the actual phone system, not really tied to Operator Connect or direct routing or even calling plans. It's really just functionality of the PBX. And so that's definitely, those options are available with their solution.
Excellent. That closed out all the questions in the chat. If anybody else has any questions before we close out the webinar, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I did see that Clay put in my email address, so you all have my email. If you want to reach out to me for more information, I'd be happy to assist getting you aligned with your channel manager and follow up with you directly. Otherwise, I think we're all set here today. So thank you everybody for joining us for Coeo's webinar, Microsoft Teams, and what we were able to do in our partnership with you. Looking forward to having some follow-up conversations and see what we can do to drive revenue together. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you all.
Thanks, guys. Take
Bye
care.
now.